Alright guys, I have another battle here with Sharpedo43, who is a, well, just a stream regular at this point, and also regular on this channel. You may remember him from several other battles, and this is our latest one, and it is an OU match, so you can see both of our teams there. So, yeah, gonna go ahead and get into it, because why not? Alright, so he's going to leave the Jirachi, which is not great because it probably means he predicted that I'd lead with my Mega Deontay, or regular Deontay here, but I'm still going to go ahead and do that and Mega Evolve and then go for Protect. A lot of these Jirachis are going to be Choice Scarfed, so obviously I'm not going to be able to stay in here anyway, but I decided to go for the Protect anyway, just to see what he would, do if he is, lock himself into. Obviously he goes for the Iron Head, because it's super effective. Now, he is going to switch out here into Zapdos, which is an interesting play. I guess he was predicting my switch. That's what I thought at the time. And I do indeed switch out, and I go out into my Heatran, which can obviously resist X4, the Iron Head, which is the reason I went into it. So, this Zapdos doesn't scare me that much, so I'm just going to go ahead and set up my Stealth Rocks. He goes for a Volt Switch, which is just fine, because Zapdos, looking at his team, is probably the thing that's going to be able to get rid of Stealth Rocks, if he does have Defog, so it's a pretty good thing that I get them up as he's forced to switch out, and he goes out into Zygarde, which is a pretty scary Pokemon. Zygarde is actually a Pokemon that I do kind of like. Its base stats are very well distributed. The reason it's not OU, honestly, I think it's BL right now, which means it's not OU by usage, but too strong for UU. But I think the reason that it's not OU is basically because it kind of gets outshined by other dragons, notably Dragonite, but it's still Dragonite and Garchomp, but it's still very, very strong and can totally do damage in OU. So, yeah, he's going to go ahead and go for the Glare as I go into Gyarados, which is obviously not excellent. I'm just going to go for the Taunt to make sure it can't set up with, like, Coil or something. He ends up just going for the Sub, so that's a thing, and I do get frozen this turn as I was trying to break the Sub as he goes for a Dragon Tail, which is going to force me out, and I go out into Breloom, and I just want to break this Sub. If he goes to the Dragon Tail again, looking at this set, we know that he has Substitute Glare and, what is it, the last move? Dragon Tail. So it's probably a, a setup set, a bulky / tanky set, not really a super dangerous thing to sweep. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to break that Sub with my Bullet Seed, and I do, as I get Dragon Tailed again, going out into Conkeldurr. Now, I do have the Ice Punch, so, but he probably knows that. I actually expected a switch here, because I didn't think that he would stay in and risk an Ice Punch, but he does. I just go for the knockoff, to knock something off if he switches, and he ends up staying in. I end up knocking off the leftovers, which is still not that bad. And, yeah, he's going to go ahead and this time get me out into Mega Deontay, which is not what he wanted. He obviously does not want to take a Moonblast from me, so I'm just going to go for it. And he makes the obvious play going into Jirachi, and it's a very good play, and, yeah, I did some damage here. So I'm just going to go for the Protect to see what he'd lock himself into. Like I said, I'm pretty sure at this point that it is a Scarf set. He goes for an Iron Head, and now I know I can switch out into something that can resist, like my Gyarados. I do that because I get the Intimidate, and, yeah, that's going to be good. And, yeah, he just actually stays in and goes for it, and not going to do a whole lot due to the Resistance and the Intimidate, so not too shabby for my Gyarados. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead, and I believe I Taunt, knowing that he would switch, I believe I Taunt so he can't defog with Zapdos. And that was my thought process on this, because I kind of don't want him to defog, and I kind of figured he would go into it, and there you go. I got what I wanted. Now, the question is, what will this thing do? Obviously, I don't want to take an electric move, so I am going to switch out, and I go out into my Heatran, who is a pretty bulky in the special category, not to mention if he tries to, go off beat and use Heat Wave or something, I'll get the boost, so yeah, there's that. He just goes for the Volt Switch, which is more or less the obvious play, and goes into his own Heatran now, and I'm kind of thinking that he's going to try to set up a Stealth Rocks of his own, so I'm hoping that I can either win the speed tie or just am faster, so I'm just going to go for the Taunt. Unfortunately, I don't know if he's actually faster, his set is faster, or he just won the speed tie there, but he is going to be able to set up Stealth Rocks, which is kind of annoying, but not brutal. Either way, yeah, I don't have Earth Power, and he obviously doesn't either, so he's going to go ahead and switch out into Zygarde again, and what do I go for? I don't even remember. I think I go for a Will-O-Wisp predicting his switch. No, I go for my... Oh, I go for Stealth Rock again. Why did I do that? Oh, I wanted to see what he would do. And I didn't want to go for the Will-O-Wisp, obviously, because it would activate Flash Fire. And, yeah, now I do go for the Will-O-Wisp against Zygarde. I do outspeed, and I'm able to get the thing burned. He is going to still be able to kill me with Earthquake, though, because it is super effective X4 and also stab, so not to mention it's super powerful, so despite the burn, he's able to kill me with it. I was hoping he didn't have it, because there was only one move I didn't know. Anyway, I go into Breloom again, and I thought he would switch, and it ends up being a really bad play, because I was going for the Spore. Like I said, I know I can't Spore something that's burned. I was thinking that he would switch, but he doesn't. Because I thought he would switch because he wouldn't really have much to do to me. But, yeah, as you can see, he just glares me, and that's a really good play, actually, and, yeah, did not see that coming. Oh, well, I go for the Bullet Seed. As he goes out in a Heat Ran, he does resist that X4, but I still get a little bit of damage on this thing, a little chump damage, but I really can't do anything to this. In fact, I think I stay in and just sack my Breloom. I probably shouldn't have, but I really don't have anything to take a fire move now that my own Heat Ran is dead, so yeah, I just kind of use my Breloom as death fodder there, and it's dead. I was probably hoping that he would over-predict so I can hit him with a fighting move, but, yeah, he makes the wise play and just kills me. I mean, I guess I do have Deontay, but still. Either way, I go into Conkel Dur, and that's a safe switch for me, and I'm just going to go for what I think I just go for a Drain Punch, as he goes out into Zygarde, and it's going to do enough damage, actually, that the Zygarde, despite the fact that the Zygarde is clearly physically bulky, it's going to do enough damage that the Zygarde is going to die to its burn, so that's pretty nice, as I get some healing with my Conkel Dur, which is kind of why you run Drain Punch, because Conkel Dur is probably the worst thing about it is it's just weak to damage builds up on it over time. So that's why you want to run Drain Punch, if it wasn't obvious. Anyway, he goes out into Heat Ran again. I don't want to take a burn because I think he knows at this point that I am not a Gut set. I am a, what is it, the Punchy Punch set thing. He ends up just going for a Lava Plume as I go into Mega Deontay, and I do resist that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And, I'm just going to go for an Earth Power now. Apparently he did not predict it because he does stay in here. And I'm going to be able to take out that Heat Ran, which is excellent. So down goes Heat Ran. And he's going to go out into Jirachi again, which I can just go ahead and go for the Protect because I'm 99% sure this thing is a Scarfer. So I do that as he goes for the Iron Head, and it doesn't do anything. And now I'm going to switch out again. This time I actually go out into Zapdos, which also resists the Iron Head. Actually, I brought 3 things that resist this thing, so that's pretty good. And, yeah, the Zapdos is going to resist the Iron Head, and I believe he's going to try to go into his own Zapdos here. Now, mine, I believe, is a physically tanky set. His is clearly some kind of toolbox Zapdos. It's not quite the same set. Actually, I don't think mine is that bulky. This, I mean, it is a bulky one. No, he's going to go into Low Punny. That's right, he goes into Low Punny first, as I go for a Roost to get my HP back. And, yeah, that's pretty neat. But now that I'm full HP, I just want to switch out here, and I go out into my Gyarados, basically to get the Intimidate. I'm super afraid of Mega Lopunny. And by the way, that Zapdos on Zapdos mirror match I hinted at is coming up. I'm not that senile. But, yeah, he's going to go ahead and Mega Evolve, and, after the Intimidate, I'm hoping it won't do that much damage to me. And as you can see, he goes right for the Ice Punch, hoping to, get my Zapdos. But it doesn't really do that much to Gyarados. However, I'm pretty sure my Gyarados is going to go down here to a return, but he ends up switching out, which is pretty good. He goes out into Zapdos now, so there's that, and I believe I just go for a Waterfall, but I think I get paralyzed. I think I get a paralyzed turn here, so I don't actually do anything. Yep. Now, see, now I'm remembering correctly. And, yeah, I believe I just let my Gyarados die here. He goes for the Volt Switch, I do go down, and, yeah, my Gyarados goes down, but the good thing is, I get to see what he's going to switch into first. And, yeah, he is going to switch himself into the, Jirachi, as I switch myself out into Zapdos, who, like I said, my set is close to max speed, I think, but it's also has, some physical bulk. Believe that's the set this is. I have a few Zapdos. Don't quite remember sometimes. Either way, he's going to go for, that Heart thing, which is basically a, it's one of those flinching moves like Iron Head, but it's Psychic type, so it's going to be, neutral. Obviously with Jirachi, it has a 60% chance to flinch. I end up getting pretty lucky here, and he's not flinching me, so that's pretty nice. I'm able to get off that Roost, which is critical, and I'm hoping to finish off this Jirachi now, if he can, continue to miss. So yeah, he goes for the Heart Stamp. He ends up getting a crit on this one. No, sorry. He gets a crit on the next one, as I just go for a Thunderbolt. I could have gone for the Heat Wave, I do have it, but for some reason I didn't. I don't really know why. Probably because I think I was, yeah, probably because I wanted to do more damage in case he switched, and there you have it. I am able to kill him. He gets the heart stamp crit on that hit, though, which is kind of unfortunate because had he hit me one more time and flinched me, I would have tried to go for the roost. So this leaves me at a point that I'm kind of vulnerable in HP as he goes into his own Zapdos, and I don't know how much damage one of my Thunderbolts are going to do. And as you can see, I am faster. That is not a speed tie. I outspeed him in every turn here, so clearly he is a bulky set. Probably not max, well, not clearly slower than my Zapdos. And I'm just going to go for a Thunderbolt to see how much I would do, and I'm doing a little less than half. As he goes for a Defog, which I'm okay with because it's going to get rid of his Stealth Rocks too, which were an annoyance to me as well, so I'm more than okay with him getting rid of both Stealth Rocks as I just go for the Thunderbolt again as he roosts. And because I'm faster, his Roost is not going to help him resist Thunderbolt at all. I do switch it up here and go for the Heat Wave, though, figuring that if I can get a burn, it'll help me out due to the residual damage, so that's why I switched to Heat Wave. I can't paralyze him with Thunderbolt, obviously, because electric types are immune to that sort of thing in Gen 6. But I can get a burn off on him if I'm lucky, and I don't seem to be able to do it. In fact, looking at his stat, he probably doesn't even have Thunderbolt, which is why another reason why I win that mirror match, which is pretty excellent. It looks like his only electric move might actually be Volt Switch, so that is pretty awesome. As he goes into Low Punny again, I know he has Ice Punch already, but I kind of think that maybe I can tank because I know I have Physical Bulk. And yeah, I just go for the Roost first of all, just to see how much damage it would do. And he ends up just going right into Togekiss, which is an interesting play, and he goes for a Air Slash, which I don't understand. He does get the flinch that turn, so clearly the fact that he outsped me tells me this is a Scarf Togekiss. So he's trying to... He actually has, funnily enough, 2 Scarf Pokemon to abuse Serene Grace on this team. Kind of nasty. He has that Togekiss, and he had the Jirachi, so keep that in mind. Interesting team decision there. But, yeah, just go for the Thunderbolt. He goes out into Zapdos, which is super good for me because it does just enough damage and I'm able to 2-hit KO it, which, now that this Zapdos is gone, I'm pretty sure that I can just, you know, go straight forward here with my Zapdos. He does have the Lopunny still, but now that I'm at 1 HP away from full, I know for a fact he can't kill me with Ice Punch. And it doesn't seem this Mega Lopunny actually carries the Fake Out, so that's awesome because he doesn't get that free damage. And as you can see, I take less than half from that Ice Punch from a Mega Lopunny, which, you know, as wrecked as I usually get from Mega Lopunnies, it just amazes me. And yeah, I'm just going to be able to get the kill with 2 Thunderbolts, and the Mega Lopunny goes down, the biggest threat on his team. When I looked at it in Team Preview, I'm like, oh crap, Mega Lopunny again? Anyway, my Zapdos is pretty low on health, though. He goes into his Togekiss, and like I said, it is Scarfed. I wanted to see what he'd lock himself into, so I stay in. He ends up going for a Hidden Power something. It's super effective. Maybe it's Ice. It could be. Probably Ice, if I had to guess. But, yeah, I'm just going to go to Mega Diancie again, and I'm just going to go for the Diamond Storm. I outspeed him anyway. So maybe it's not Scarfed? I don't know. But then again, Togekiss is pretty slow. I don't think it would have outsped Zapdos unless it was Scarfed, unless... I don't know. Either way, good game there, Sharpedo43. And, yeah, today's question of the day is I want to gauge what was the first generation of Pokemon that you played? What was your first Pokemon game? How were you introduced to the series? As for me, you guys know I'm really old school. When I was a kid, I got Pokemon Red, and that's, like, the first game, so... that's how I got introduced to the series, and probably makes my opinions a little bit nostalgic in nature. But I want to see how the people that watch my channel, how they're introduced to Pokemon. So, yeah, what was your first Pokemon game? What was the generation you were, introduced to the series to? Or with, I should say. Anyway, so leave a comment about that, and see you guys next time. Later.